Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Sienkowski with Potomac Local News, shining the spotlight on our local elections. With me today is Jim Tully, who is running for District 23. Jim, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me, Kelly.
Can you tell us a little bit about you?
I've been a lifelong public servant. I enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1987. Was stationed here in Quantico. Then during the Gulf War, I deployed to the Gulf War. After that, I returned to Virginia. My wife, who was a Navy corpsman, returned with me. We both went to George Mason University. I got a job at Fairfax County at the Sheriff's Office, and she got a job teaching at Fairfax County Public Schools. The family grew and grew out of the house we had in Fairfax, so we moved to Stafford about 13 years ago. Retired from Fairfax during COVID. I served the governor in COVID response with the National Guard responding to COVID across Virginia. When COVID quieted down, I got a job at the Rappahannock Regional Jail. I'm currently the Deputy Superintendent there. My wife, she's moved to Stafford County Public Schools, so she's now teaching in Stafford. My daughter, who graduated from Radford, she is now also teaching in Stafford County Schools. And my two youngest go to VCU.
Your first election that you're running as a candidate for.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Is this your first time running for an election?
Now, this will be my second time running for the delegate office in the 23rd District.
Thank you. So for our viewers, we invited all of our candidates to participate in this interview series. We're asking them all the same 5 questions. We're sharing all of their videos online on Potomac Local's YouTube channel, and you'll also see articles which condense everyone's responses on our website. So, Jim, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and do the first question. Touching on the economy, Virginia has become the data center capital of the world. But many communities have raised concerns about land use, water consumption, and energy usage. What role should the state play in regulating or guiding data center growth?
Well, data centers are becoming like the new infrastructure for the world when it comes to technology. And it's a very local issue. So when it comes to water usage, land usage, that all should go be in the realm of the Board of Supervisors. When it comes to legislation on the state level, I think we need to pay attention to the power usage, what Dominion Energy is doing with data centers and how much power they're using, and how we regulate that, and not do how the infrastructure won't affect the local users, end users, such as the citizens in the community.
Thank you. Moving to education, Virginia ranks 26th in teachers' pay. Our students consistently perform at or above the national average on the National Assessment of Educational Progress.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Sorry, let me try again. Virginia ranks 26th in teachers' pay. Our students typically perform at or above the national average on the National Assessment of Educational Progress testing. Do you believe the state should invest more to fund competitive pay and benefits for teachers and to expand resources across districts, or are those issues best left to the localities?
Well, with the way taxes are going in the localities, it's very difficult for these localities to continue to raise taxes to meet the teachers' pay. So the state should somehow step in through legislation and make pay more competitive. And especially since I have two teachers in my family, it's important to my family that the teachers are paid adequately and have the resources they need to keep this high level that we're keeping in the Commonwealth, and especially across the board, not only in Northern Virginia, but in our other localities, such as Stafford and Caroline County, and throughout the western end of the Commonwealth.
Thank you. Relative to our federal workforce, Virginia has over 180,000 federal employees, and around 11,000 lost their jobs in 2025. Governor Youngkin made a portal to help the displaced workers. But do you believe the state should take the lead in supporting them, Or should localities handle the challenge of retraining and economic support for those who lost their jobs?
Uh, I think that's a state issue. Virginia is very unique that we have a very rural economy and then a very metropolitan economy. Um, not from the 95 corridor out to the west, and we need to lean on those two areas and get our federal workforce that has been disengaged from the federal workforce and put them into the Virginia workforce. Knocking on doors, I hear a lot of concern about the federal workforce and what's going to happen to them. And I always suggest that they look to the Virginia Jobs website for a position in Virginia government, because there's lots of positions open in Virginia, and we could use their expertise here in the Commonwealth.
Fourth question. Virginia's statewide tax exemption for disabled veterans has led to millions in lost revenue for some localities. A recent bill passed in the General Assembly that would have reimbursed localities for part of that loss, but it was not included in the budget. So what steps would you propose to support localities in maintaining essential services without reducing benefits for those disabled vets?
As a disabled vet, this is an important issue for me. It took me a very, very long time with the VA to get my disability to the point of hiring an attorney and getting the attorney involved. And there are, and especially in Stafford, there are a lot of disabled veterans who take advantage of the tax breaks. So it is something that has to be managed on the state level and on the county level or the local level, depending on whether it's Prince William or Stafford. But again, it's important to have these veterans and the knowledge that they possess in our localities and the talent they bring to the workforce. So there's got to be some sort of compromise between taxes and benefits. And I think working with veterans to figure out where that is at be one of my goals, and seeing where we can meet in the middle. And again, it's important to me. And it's important. My wife is working on her disability too, because she's a Navy veteran, and they're important people in our workforce, and we need them in our workforce. We need them in the localities.
And our final question. Virginia operates under the Dillon Rule, which limits what local governments can do without state approval. Do you believe the rule should be loosened to give localities more flexibility in areas like housing, zoning, and revenue? And how do you see that balance between state oversight and local control?
It's interesting to see the when it comes to land use and permitting, the time it takes for someone to go from concept to brick and mortar to selling their first piece of merchandise or getting into the building, that timeline looks really long to me, and I think a whole lot longer than it really needs to be. So I think if we were to loosen the Dillon Rule a little bit and give localities a little bit more power to speed that process up, it'd be better for the economy. How that looks through legislation, we'd have to look into it. But there has to be that balance again between state and local municipalities and how we do that.
Well, for all of our viewers, please make sure you stay tuned to Potomac Local News and follow along with all of our candidates this election season. Jim, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to chat with me.
Thank you, Kelly.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.